What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Let's Play Destiny. We are here in the tower at the beginning of this video just because I want to show this off very quickly. This is the Cryptarch, and this, what I got in the last mission that dropped from the boss, other than that, is an engram. Engrams are basically blueprints of weapons and armor that Cryptarch can decode, and it can become, well, pretty much anything, honestly. So as you can see, I need to be level 4 to equip that, but the gloves I already have are the same light level, which means that these are pretty much irrelevant anyway. But before we go and talk to the Zavala, really quickly, I just kind of want to explain the way that the leveling system works in Destiny, because I never really got into that. So, experience dictates level. Armor and weapons dictate light level. Alright, does that make sense? No? Well, here, let me get into it. So, your level is almost irrelevant. Your level is more of... it more so kind of just dictates, you know, the weaker armor and weapons, what you can equip and whatnot, and also what missions you're ready for and what content you can unlock. That's basically all it is. It's kind of a milestone tracker more than anything. And really the end goal is the final level, which is in Destiny 1, level 40. However, there are a lot of things that unlock at level 20. Most of those are year 1 based. Everything after that, that came with the Taken King and Rise of Iron expansions, you need to be level 40 for. Your light is a completely different thing, and actually the more important value than your level. Your light increases as the defense values of all of your armor pieces and the attack values of all of your weapon pieces increase. It kind of comes out to an aggregate, basically. So as you can see, I have pieces that are 22 and 18 and 17, but I also have things that are just 5. And overall, it all balances out to basically an average of 9 across all of my pieces, okay? This is the number that dictates how strong you are versus enemies. If their light level is above yours, they're going to do increased damage the further away their light level is from yours. If it's below, it actually plateaus and you can't possibly do any additional damage beyond that. So, but as long as they're weaker, they are easier to kill. So that is how light works. It's very simple, actually. It's just an aggregate of these values, 17, 5, 5, 5, 18, 22, 5. It's just an aggregate of all of those into a number. And the higher this number is, the stronger you are and the more activities you can do. And that's it. That's all there is to it. Light is actually a very simple concept. It's just a little bit daunting. And I think the fact that level is another concept kind of just makes it all the more confusing. But level is a measurement of time. This is an actual measurement of power. There is a very big difference. So, I actually don't need to show me talking to Zavala, so I'm going to meet you at the beginning of this video's mission, which is known as the Warmind.
The Vanguard's reporting that Fallen are tearing into machines all over the Cosmodrome. I'm starting to think they aren't just looting the place. Whatever they're looking for, we should probably find it first.
And let us begin the Warmind.
Activity near the Forgotten Shore, but that's miles from here. Guardians set up a vehicle grid here. We sync to that, we can summon ground transport from our ship. Let's go.
Sweet, so we're going to be able to use our Sparrow for the first time. Our Sparrow is basically just a speeder. It allows us to get around these open areas a lot faster. And, well, really, that's all there is to it. Now, I just missed level 4, which is the recommended level for this mission. But I'm sure after I kill just a couple enemies, I'll hit that no problem. And at level 4, we are going to be hitting probably the biggest and most important milestone of our entire subclass. Or of really any subclass. So, let's head on up here. And there is going to be a building over here where we're able to unlock our vehicle transmat. So, guess I might as well get into the lore of this mission. So we are going to be talking about a Warmind in this mission. Now, to talk about the Warmind, we kind of need to go into the history of Destiny and the world. The world before, really, before all of this happened. Because this is post-apocalyptic after a golden age. Now, the golden age is not our current day. This is still, and by the way, this is not the Sparrow I should have, but this is the one I got to unlock just because of just because of all my bonus content and stuff like that. The one I should have is a generic one, but it didn't give that to me for free. Anyway, so the Golden Age is referred to many times in Destiny, and that is when humanity was at its peak, okay? Exos and Awoken, the other races that are friendly to us, did not exist during the Golden Age, okay? The Golden Age specifically was a time for humanity to thrive. It was when humanity was at its peak scientifically. Everyone was able to live for, you know, very, very long times, as was explained in the intro of this game. Just a great time for everyone involved, basically. Like, things could not go wrong because of the Traveler. The arrival of the Traveler made it so that we were all thriving, we were all happy, we had light in our lives, which just made everything better, because light is such a positive force that makes us stronger, it makes us smarter, all those things. And that's really what did it. However, the Traveler has enemies. The Traveler has those who covet after it, who want it, such as the Fallen. And the Fallen, well, they were the ones who kind of helped end our Golden Age. They weren't the only ones, but the darkness is what brought the end of the Golden Age. It basically is what caused the calamity, the apocalypse of sorts, that kind of left the world in ruins in the way it is now, and why there is only one city left where humanity is safe, and why the Traveler is only able to protect one city. So, hit level 4, which is really cool, and now I can unlock, let me go to my subclass tree, Nova Bomb. This right here is the super of my subclass. Every subclass has one, and this is Voidwalkers. Boom. That's it. You just chuck a ball of light and blow everything up. It's awesome. And it gets better as we get stronger, and I'll get into that more. But back to talking about the Golden Age, or I guess about the collapse, which is what they refer to it as in this game, is basically when humanity fell, when everything kind of went to crap, and now we are just kind of all hanging on by a thread. That is the state we have been left in now. And the collapse happened a long time ago. It was not a recent event to this point in the game. It was hundreds and hundreds of years before. The Golden Age is a long and distant memory. And it was the Fallen who led a full frontal assault on humanity and pushed them back to the last city where we were able to finally hold. But in the Golden Age, there were many amazing things created. All the amazing weapons were created, all sorts of awesome scientific advancements. And one of those things that was created was called the Warmind. These are hyper-intelligent AIs that... well, it was actually kind of limitless what they could achieve. These AIs had the ability to, basically control infrastructure. They could control economies. They could control life, almost. And they could continue to learn off of one another. Very amazing pieces of technology. How exactly they were formed, we don't know. We don't know if it was entirely a man-made creation or if there's something more behind it. It's pretty much a given that there is a little bit more behind what the Warminds are. But there is one Warmind in particular that kind of resides here on Earth, known as Rasputin. Okay, and that's who we're going to be talking about and kind of getting into in this mission. Rasputin has kind of just been left on his own and to his own devices for a very long time. And what he's been doing, we don't know. We don't know if he's just been sleeping. We don't know if he is, if he's plotting anything. We don't know if he's been rapidly learning things or if he's been controlling things this entire time. We don't know what Rasputin is up to. But what we do know is that the Fallen are interested in him, and that is why they are here. They are trying to dig him up and possibly gain access to him. For what reason? Well, honestly, it's actually quite terrifying to think about. Think about the power of, let's say, a nuke or something like that, you know, just something that can destroy life as we know it. The Warmind has basically access to all of those weapons all at once and could fire all of them at any location if it ever wanted to, basically creating the biggest disaster you could possibly imagine if it so choose to. That is what a Warmind can do. It has a bunch of satellites sitting up in the sky that are basically, if it wanted to, could point every missile ever created that hasn't yet been detonated into one spot and blow it all to hell. And that's a scary thought, you know. That's what the Fallen wanted to have happen if they could gain control of Rasputin. That's what they would have. And that's kind of a terrifying prospect. So that is what we are here to stop. Excuse me, sir. And now that we have finished talking about the Warmind, let me talk about the Fallen for a minute. Why are they bad guys anyway? What is their deal? Why do they want Rasputin? Why do they want to kill us so bad? Well, there's a lot to be said about the Fallen I don't want to go into just yet, because we are definitely going to be learning more about them as we go. But what I will say is that the Fallen, well, they get their name for a reason, okay? They are a fallen race. This is not... They were not always this way. They were actually a great race. They were actually very comparable to humanity at one point. But what they are now is much... well, kind of, they're just decrepit. They really are. They are basically the alien gangsters, is what I guess you could call them. They live in what are called houses, which are basically their own little gangs. But I actually wouldn't say little at all. They're actually huge. They are basically entire armies, and they all have different leadership. They are very respectful of hierarchy, and dregs are the lowest form of Fallen. They are the weakest. And they all aspire to climb higher in various ways. The Vandals are kind of the mid-tier. They are kind of the, I guess you could call the nobles and the lords of, well, actually, I don't even know if I'd go that. I would say the dregs are the peasants. The Vandals are more so the serfs. I would say the captains are more so the lords. And then you have things above the captains, which are known as, what is the word? Archons. Archons are basically the kings of fallen houses. And there's other little small parts of fallen hierarchy as well, such as shanks, which are basically just tools created by the fallen. They are scouts. They are not living things at all. They are just machines that do the fallen's bidding. And servitors, which are also machines that we will be seeing in this mission for the first time. And they have a bit more of a unique purpose that is a little bit hard to explain right off the bat. But, again, we'll get into that more as we go. Servitors, I'll just say that servitors are very powerful. They are, in fact, arguably more powerful than captains are. So, and these are servitors right here. They are holy machines. They are not sentient. They are not alive. But they, or at least not that we know of, they don't have any, like, being or soul to them. But that's not to say they aren't, you know, incredibly creepy. First of all, they're freaking floating eyes. And second of all, that they don't have amazing power, because they do. And I'll talk about that more at a later point when we fight a much more powerful servitor. So, yeah. That is kind of a loose description of the Fallen and the way that their hierarchy kind of works. It's not, I haven't fully explained everything yet, or what they believe in and all that, but... Again, that will all become more relevant later, especially as we focus on the Fallen more.
We should destroy this thing.
So, we defended it. Let's get rid of this so that the Fallen can't have access to it again. Sweet.
They didn't get much. Kept hitting an active firewall. Old Earth. Russian. Legends are true. A Warmind did survive the collapse. Rasputin. An AI built to defend Earth. He faced the darkness and survived. And he's protecting something here in the Cosmodrome. We have to find a way to reach him.
And as he basically just repeated what I said, that he has a point to all of that. That's all those are true facts, but there's a little bit more to Rasputin than meets the eye. So we got a sniper rifle, which is really cool. I can't wait to show that off. And a better helmet, which should significantly boost my light, as well as a melee ability. Yes, there's more to just force slapping things than just force slapping things. And we'll talk about more of that in the next episode. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so very much for watching this episode of Let's Play Destiny. I hope you all enjoyed it very much, and I will see you all in the next one.